Welcome, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. And you are most welcome. She went on a weekend trip with her girlfriends. Yoga, nature walks, quiet mornings with coffee that was still hot when she drank it. And the internet just decided that this woman was a bad mother. Today, we are talking about why women can't rest without being put on trial. At the same time, I'm going to walk you through 6 stories that are trending right now that are all connected by one uncomfortable thread. And the thread is that society still doesn't know what to do with a woman who chooses herself. So stay with me because this one is going to hit home and it's going to hit really hard. Okay? Please stay with me.
Stand in your power. Own every minute, every hour. This is your story. Starting now. Stand in your power. Let the world see how. Stand in your power. Stand in your power now. Turn up your voice, your truth, your wow. Stand in your power. This is your channel now.
Hey, I'm glad you are here live with me. If this is your first time here, I want to say welcome to YESS Life Coaching, where we help women. We help women stand in their power. My name is Femi, and every evening or every other evening, we take the biggest culture conversations that are happening around women, celebrity, some court cases, viral moments, and we decode what they are actually teaching us about ourselves as women. Okay? So let's just have a quick housekeeping. Let's have a quick housekeeping. Since we are live, drop where you're watching me from in the chat. Hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And if today's episode hits something in you, I want you to tell me in the comments because I read every single one after the show. All right, let's dive right in. Today is a big one. And we've got 6 stories, but they all point to one lesson. So please stick around because it keeps building. It builds momentum. Okay? So the first one, a mother takes a self-care trip. Okay? A 41-year-old woman saying she's done chasing the younger version of herself. Then an ex-husband, these are the stories you're going to be talking about. An ex-husband rewriting the story of a marriage. And we're going to be talking about women being financially trapped by the people who claim to love them. Another story we're going to be looking at is a celebrity couple divorcing without a villain, and a woman who was executed 70 years ago who is only just being pardoned. So all this are different headlines. Same question underneath all of them. Who gets to define a woman's worth, and who gets punished when she defines it herself? Let's start with the one that is, for me, the one that is most, they're all important, but I'm going to start with this one. The story of Zoe Marshall and the mom guilt backlash. Zoe Marshall is an Australian podcaster and coach. She took a child-free wellness getaway with friends. She went for yoga, nature walks, time away from parenting. That's it. And that's the crime, the whole crime that this woman committed. And the backlash was immediate. That backlash sparked a massive debate about whether mothers should feel free. Okay? Whether mothers should feel free to take a break, or they should feel guilty for taking time for themselves. And we are going to be looking at why fathers rarely get the same scrutiny for doing exactly the same thing. So I want to know what your comments are in the comment section. Keep them coming. So we're going to look at why this story is hitting so hard, because this isn't really about one trip. It's about how motherhood can quietly, become a woman's entire public identity until she's not allowed to be a full person anymore. She's only allowed to be a mom. And here is the double standard. Nobody wants to say out loud. When a father takes a weekend away, he is rarely accused of abandoning his family. But when a mother does it, they say, oh, she's neglecting her family. She's accused of neglect. Now, what are the key lessons here for us as women? Let me break it down. Okay? Let me break down what I want you to walk away with. Number one, rest is not evidence that a mother is negligent. Number two, you don't stop being an individual the moment you become a mother. Shared parenting means fathers also parent. Okay? They don't help with their own children. They should also parent. And then constant sacrifice without replenishment breeds resentment, exhaustion, and a loss of your identity. The truth is, children benefit from watching their mother value her own well-being. You teach the children to value their own well-being when you, as a mother, you value your own well-being. Now, valuing yourself and your well-being is not selfishness. That's what I call modeling. This is something that I see constantly in my work with women. Most of you don't give yourself permission to rest until you are completely depleted, until you are snapping at your children, crying in the car, until you are running on fumes. Healthy self-care is not a reward you earn after you break down. For me, it's supposed to be preventative. Healthy self-care is supposed to be preventative. If you are waiting to deserve rest, you will wait until one day you collapse. Now, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to actually sit down with this. And if you feel brave, answer one of them in the chat. When did you last do something that was solely for your own renewal? Do you believe a good mother must always be available? Let me know your answers in the chat. What part of yourself existed before motherhood that you want to reclaim? What responsibility in your household could be shared more equally? So there's just one thing I want us to take away from here today, just one. And that one thing is being a devoted mother should never require you to disappear as a woman. I want someone in the chat to say that back to me in the chat. Being a devoted mother should never, ever require you to disappear as a woman. Okay? Now let's move on to the second story. The second story is about Kendra Wilkinson. And I tagged the story Aging Out Loud. So the story is that Kendra Wilkinson just turned 41. And she's publicly saying she's done maintaining the image from her Playboy girl next door years. You remember Kendra? I remember her in those days. And she wrote, she said, I am okay aging. I am okay not being young. I'm okay not being the young Kendra anymore. I am not Playboy anymore. And she added, she's not trying to be smexy. She's focused on herself and her kids. That was what she wrote in the news. Now, this wasn't a one-time comment either. She said versions of this. She has said all of this for over a year, responding each time to new wave of critics that kept on attacking her appearance. Now, why are we talking about this story? It matters because women in entertainment are treated like aging is a decline. Remember the Brandy story? Because she looked a certain way, they said she was looking older. But the truth is that men in the same industries get to just exist as they grow older. We start hearing, oh, he is aging gracefully. That's what we begin to hear. He is aging gracefully. What happens when a woman says that she's done performing for the version of femininity that once, got her attention? If it were a man, they would say, oh, he's aging gracefully. Now, what are the key lessons we should learn from this story from Kendra? Especially for us women, you are allowed to outgrow the image that once made you successful. Yes. Because the truth is, the world standard changes. So if you stayed the same, there's nothing as permanent as change. You are allowed to outgrow that image that made you successful. Aging is not a personal failure. You being a woman does not expire when your youth changes. Self-worth cannot stay dependent on public attention. No way. If you are watching, please like the live stream. Go ahead and like the live stream. A quieter life can be a more fulfilling one, not a lesser one. So if this woman has chosen that, hey, this is who I want to be, this is who I am, we must respect it. The truth is, sometimes women get stuck in an old identity, in an old version of their identity. Because other people, like say their followers, their ex-partner, even some members of their family are emotionally or financially invested in the old you. You see, growth sometimes means disappointing the people who, preferred who you used to be. Disappointing the people who preferred the old you. That's not betrayal. That's you maturing. I want to ask you a question. What version of yourself are you maintaining for other people? Do you fear becoming visible as you age? And who are you when you are not performing? I'm challenging you with that question. Because if there's one takeaway I need you to take from this story, is that you are allowed to become a woman your younger self could not yet imagine. Now, let's go on to the third story. Khloé Kardashian, right? And Lamar Odom. So we see Lamar Odom's new Netflix documentary. It reopened old wounds when comments came in and suggested fame played a role in the reason why he married Khloé Kardashian. So soon after immediately after meeting her. So people were saying, oh, maybe he married her because of fame or whatever. Then Khloé called that framing offensive and said she regrets participating in the documentary at all. Then Odom came and as he has pushed back, saying he didn't marry her for fame, that the characterization didn't come directly from him. Okay? If you want to read more of that, go to peoples.com, you will see it there. Now, what makes this story especially painful is the context that Khloé supported Lamar through a life-threatening health crisis after their separation. So this isn't just about a marriage narrative. It's about whether care or loyalty got honored or whether it got erased once a relationship ends. I repeat, it's about whether care and loyalty gets honored or erased once a relationship ends. So we all, I don't want to go into the whole story of Khloé and Lamar, but what I want us to pick from here is that supporting someone does not guarantee that they will later tell your story with honor. The truth is, you cannot control how an ex explains the relationship they had with you to the world, but you can control how you react to it, to whatever is coming out of that. For me, whatever she did, she did. Real accountability for me requires clarity, not contradiction or contradictory explanation. No. And I want to say that you can forgive someone and still need boundaries with them. Okay? Some of you keep going back to a past relationship, hoping for one thing. Please tell the truth about what I did for you. Please say I mattered. I need you to hear this and hear it very well. Healing gets so much stronger the moment your validation stops depending on your ex getting the story right. There's always her story, his story, and the truth. So I want you to live with this thing, with this one thing on this particular story. Don't place your healing in the hands of someone who still cannot tell the story with accountability. That's what that story with Khloé and Lamar Odom, teaches us. Now, we'll move to another segment, which is about economic abuse. Sometimes debt can be disguised as love. Now, this story is a story I most want you to sit with tonight. The UK organizations Refuge and Surviving Economic Abuse just reported a 78% annual increase in referrals to refugee specialist units, and reports involving economic abuse have more than doubled. Now, one growing pattern is that victims are being pressured into things like car finance loan or credit agreement that mostly benefit the abuser. Now, this is often disguised as partnership. Listen to some of these lines. Oh, use your credit. My credit is bad. Put the car in your name. Give me your password. I manage the money better. If you love me, you will help me with this. Now, all of those is not partnership. That is risk transfer. And financial coercion is abuse, even with zero physical violence. The truth is, love should never require secret debt. A shared future requires shared transparency and not blind trust. As a woman, your credit history is part of your independence. So you need to protect it like even your passport. Every time a partner asks you for a financial favor, run it through these filters. Does this create shared stability? Or does this transfer another adult risk onto me? If it's the second one, then that is a red flag. Absolutely, absolutely not a favor. So the question I will ask you to reflect on is that, do you understand every debt and account connected to your name right now? Have you agreed to a financial agreement because you feared conflict? Can you access your own ID card, your credit report, your password, your income? Would you advise your daughter to accept the same arrangement that you just accepted? So from this story, I want us to go home with one thing. Never call it partnership when one person receives the benefit and the other person carries the risk. Okay? Never ever do that. So I told you we're going to 6 stories. The third story is about Margaret Qualley and Jack Antonoff. I call it a breakup without a villain. So Margaret Qualley and Jack Antonoff they've separated after almost 3 years of marriage. And the report says that they still care about each other and are handling it all with respect. Margaret's team also shut down rumors of infidelity. A legal expert not involved in the case noted that this could be a relatively, how do I put it? This could be a relatively simple walkaway situation. It was a short marriage, no kids, both people were financially independent, and as you can see, a prenup was already put in place. So it was simple. It was a simple story of divorce without the villain. Why does this matter? A lot of us are conditioned to treat celebrity breakups like, hey, it's one true crime mystery. Someone has to have cheated, lied, or ruined it. Now, this story is a rare chance to talk about something else entirely. Incompatibility, dignity, financial preparation, without needing a scandal to justify the ending. This is a beautiful, clean break. What's the key lesson here? A relationship can end without either person being evil. Privacy is not proof someone is hiding anything wrong. Okay? You see where a prenup comes in practical, not unromantic. We need to understand that a chapter can be meaningful without lasting forever. It was good while it lasted. So some of you are staying in relationships, waiting for something bad enough to justify leaving. But this no longer works for us. You can say this no longer works for us. It is allowed to be the only reason. You don't need a villain. All you need is the truth. Hey, I don't think this relationship is working, so we need to go our separate ways. Simple and short. You don't need the scandal. You don't need to distress someone to accept that your journey together has ended. No. That was a clean relationship break. So this is us today learning from stories, learning from, headlines. Now the last segment would be Ruth Ellis, the myth of the perfect victim. The British government just granted Ruth Ellis, who was the last woman ever executed in Britain, a posthumous conditional pardon. Pardon after death. She was executed in 1955 for ending her abusive lover, David Blakely. Now, the pardon doesn't erase what she did. It formally recognizes that the legal system at the time failed to properly weigh the severe abuse she survived and how it shaped her actions. Interesting. Why am I talking about this? Why is this story trending? This has reignited a debate that's older than many of us. Do women have to be passive, calm, and emotionally controlled because society believes they are actually, or before society can believe that they are actually abused? Let me say that again. Do women have to be passive, calm, and emotionally controlled before society can actually believe they are actually abused? This woman, Ruth Ellis, doesn't fit the perfect victim mold. And that's exactly why this case matters so much. The truth is, trauma doesn't always produce behavior that society finds acceptable. Understanding why harm happened is not the same as excusing it. An abused woman can still be held accountable for her actions. The truth is that the system often examines the final explosive moment while ignoring the whole build-up. Recognition that comes from decades too late cannot undo the damage. What's the insight here? We only tend to believe women when they suffer quietly, gently, with perfect composure. An angry, reactive, inconsistent, or even addictive woman can still be an abused woman. Compassion and accountability are allowed to exist in the same sentence. So what's the takeaway from this one? A woman should not have to suffer perfectly before her suffering is taken seriously. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I just want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Okay? Let me say this. Here's what I want you to carry out of this room tonight. A woman resting is not neglect. A woman aging is not disappointment. An ex who won't tell the truth doesn't get to hold your healing hostage. Death is not love. A breakup doesn't need a villain. And no woman should have to suffer perfectly to be believed. You are allowed to be whole, not perfect, not endlessly available, not defined by anyone else's comfort. You are allowed to be whole, just whole. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves out there and continue to stand in your power. Thank you. Bye. If you watched till the end, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. My name is Femi. I will see you in the next one. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. And if you watched till this time, please do like the live stream. Yep. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Bye.
Take what you learn.